Hi, I'm Carolina, your podcast host and expert womb healer. Over the past 5 years, I've served over 500 women to remove physical blockages in their bodies. We achieve this with Reiki. I believe healing doesn't have to be done alone, nor should it be. You will hear stories of healing, methods to heal with, and guest speakers covering taboo topics you won't hear anywhere else. Let's continue this journey of womb healing together. Hi, I'm Carolina, your Reiki master and womb healer. Before we get started today, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star rating review. And we're so excited that you're a loyal listener, and we're so grateful for you. Let's dive in. Today's podcast is super special. It's my personal story. So how I went from negative pregnancy tests to having a baby with Reiki. So let's start. Let's crank it back up. 2014, my dad had passed away in April of 2014. 3 days later after he died, my abuela died, which was his dad. It was a shock to all of us. My dad was passing, and then my abuela was older. He was in his 90s. But for them to have died so close together was very bizarre and shocking for us. Fast forward, I get married that December. The following April, to the same week, the anniversary of my dad's death and my abuela's death, my horse passes away. And this is not any ordinary horse. This is Cheyenne. She was my heart horse. She was my soulmate. When I moved to Nebraska in 2012, I started to take horse riding lessons as a way to cope with not knowing anyone and transitioning to a state where I was basically alone. So I got this horse and she became my life. And then I met Ryan, my husband, and together that was like my stability, my safety, my life. But then when my dad passed, this horse became my emotional support. She was so grounding for me. And every time I was upset, I would go to the barn and I would ride her or I would groom her and I would just cry into her mane and just sit with her. And this horse was perfection. She was a walking angel on earth. So to have lost her, in addition to my abuelo and my dad, it was a very dark time in my life. I had started grief therapy and I was doing all the traditional ways of healing that are mainstream, which was talk therapy. I wasn't on any antidepressants. Fast forward, we're ready to start a family. I get my IUD out and we're not getting pregnant. It didn't go the way I thought it would. And I thought it would be, we have sex and we would get pregnant and it would be fine. But the negative pregnancy tests were devastating every single month. And I was pissed. I was like, I need something to go my way. This is really fucked up. Like, why is this not working out? I was really mad. So how did I actually go from negative pregnancy tests to having a baby with Reiki? My grief therapist at this point said, listen, we're a year and a half in and you're not making enough progress. You either need to get on medication or you need to try Reiki because you're still anxious. You're still you need to move forward. How can we move you forward? Because I was done. I was so ready to be done being sad. And it wasn't I'm pretty aggressive in most things that I do. I'm a go-getter. I want to get results. And I'm doing the things. I'm here with you weekly. Why is this shit not getting better? Why am I still sad? And I think it's really hard to grasp the things when it's so much. Even if a year and a half passes and I had a high performing job and I was a high performer at that demanding job and I was a newlywed and I'm trying to do these things. But I was pure chaos. I was like a hurricane on wheels. And I didn't know anything about grounding. I didn't know anything about stress. I didn't know anything about life management. I just want to do the next thing on the list because I was all about bucket lists and I was all about doing what you're supposed to do because I thought I took advice from the people who I thought were successful or I wanted to be like. And that included find a partner, get married, have a baby because that was the next step. And that same week that the therapist said you should get Reiki, I went to a crystal shop where there was a medium. Her name's Kelly Miller here in Omaha. And at this point, a key part of this story that is a little side piece. It was during this time I was on medical leave for my job. At this specific moment that week, I was in the middle of a medical leave. I had suffered a concussion. Prior to this, I fell off my second horse, Bucks Mosby, and I was put on medical leave. I couldn't drive and I couldn't watch TV. My memory wasn't coming back. So it was a very chaotic time. There was a lot going on. So when I went to this psychic store, I was like, do you have any crystals for a concussion? I need to heal my concussion. I get back on my horse. I thought the most immediate thing was to heal the concussion. And she said, no, your sacral plexus chakra is blocked. Your throat chakra is blocked. You need Reiki. You don't need any crystals. And I was like, okay then. So I went and got Reiki at the person's office that my therapist recommended. So at this point, I did believe in signs from the universe. And I was in the beginning of my spiritual awakening. So 2 people in 1 week told me to get Reiki. I listened because my dad told me, if you're hearing something from 2 different spots in your life, then you should pay attention. And at this point, I was ready. I mean, I was already healing in the traditional ways. I was ready to let go of this funk. I was ready to let go of the anger. I was ready to let go of the sadness. So I went into this lady's Reiki session with the intention that I wanted to clearly just let go of all of this heaviness. I wanted to have a baby. I was ready to move forward because I had not been able to move forward in talk therapy. So I trusted this lady wholeheartedly. She was like a fairy godmother because I had nothing to lose. I mean, I was already feeling broken. I was already feeling lost. And I was 100% like ready to try this. If 2 people recommended it, and it was 2 people I highly respected, why not try it? So I had come to the terms also on the way there. The conversation I was having with my husband was, I'm okay if we don't have a baby, but I really do want to have a baby with you. But you're enough for me and we're enough together. And I had already decided that I didn't want to do IVF as a personal choice. So if this didn't work, or if the natural fertility methods didn't work, that life with him was going to be enough for us, or enough for me. And he said, me too. So when I had that peace that no matter what the outcome was, I became more open. I became more settled in my chest space. So I felt like 100% ready to give this Reiki stuff a try. So I went in for the 90-minute Reiki session. And I saw colors and I felt warmth. It was a Reiki massage. And this lady specialized in Reiki, but also trauma massage, where she would massage the traumas out of your tissues. So I got it. I got Reiki. I walked out feeling blissful. My husband picked me up. And then 1 month after my first Reiki session with this magical Reiki master, I was testing positive with my son, Ollie, and he's the first Reiki baby. So now he's my whole life. So that's how I went from negative pregnancy test to having a baby with Reiki. I continued to get Reiki my entire time through my pregnancy, even through my birth and postpartum. And eventually I became certified when Ollie was 6 months old. And I decided to offer it as a service at the beginning of my Reiki career for women who were in postpartum. And then it grew full spectrum from fertility, pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. So if you are wanting to conceive, I would highly encourage you to check out the Make a Baby membership or our signature group program, which is called Next Level Fertility, and where we help you heal all of your emotional blockages in 90 days. So thank you so much for being here. It's truly an honor that I get to have this platform, share my experiences, and help others in their healing journey. It's just my greatest life's pleasure. Thank you so much. And until next time, my friend, know that you're loved. It was an honor to connect and serve you this week. If you are a spiritually curious person wanting to conceive and heal blockages in your fertility, click the link in the episode description to learn more about the Fertility Foundation Collective. Until next time, my friend, know you are loved.